Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Techno Talk. Today I am going to show you one form registration by using a HTML page and by creating PHP code. And I'll also show you how to write the validations in JavaScript for your form validation and how to insert the whole record into the MySQL. So let's start. First of all, if you are using XAMPP server or whatever the server, you need to start the server. So I'm using XAMPP. So in C drive, XAMPP folder, XAMPP control. So here you need to turn on Apache server and MySQL server, which is already started. Then you need to create one database, which you can create from here. You need to click on server 127001. Then you can see the link called databases. Here you can create database name, create database, and you need to click on create. So I have created one database already, which is Yoga with Chirag. In that database, I have created one table called registration. So let's see the structure of this table first. So when you create this table, all you need to do is go into the database, create the server database, and then you can go to your database and you can create a table. Like here you have option create table. So whatever the field you have, like your first name, last name, username, password, whatever the fields you have, you need to write number of fields here. Once you will write that fields, you will have the whole structure of your table, and you will have all these fields. For example, I have created 7 fields: ID, first name, last name, mobile number, email ID, username, and password. So then you need to select the data type, integer varchar. I have assigned this field ID as an auto increment, so I don't need to worry about that. So same as first name, last name, mobile, email, username, password, and then data type varchar, begin varchar, and this is the length of characters 20, 14, 20, 20. So this is the table. So you have created your database, you have created your table, and now you need to create one simple form like this. Okay, so I am using Dreamviewer editor. So you need to just log into your editor, whatever the editor you're using. So here I have made one file, index.test.php. It should be HTML. You can create one HTML file. So here what I did is I have created one form. The name of that form is register. Action file is registration action, register action.php. Method is post, and I have called one function called check form on submit. When you submit your form, it will return this function. So it will go here first, it will execute JavaScript code, and then it will submit the form. Okay, so this is the form with name registration. This is the action file. So when you submit the form, it will go to this file where this PHP code is. Then I have created one table, alignment center, whatever you want, you can choose, border is 0, whatever you choose, and then I have give the name of the form. It's register online here. Okay, then I have created another tr. In that tr I have created td, which is called cell. So this is row and this is cell. In cell I have give first name, then another td where I have created input type text. So I have created the text box. This is called text box, which you can see here. So this is where you can type. This container is called as text box. So I have created that here by input type text, and the name of this text box is first name. We need to give name of all the text box because we need to fetch the value from HTML page to the PHP page, and for that we need to recognize that text box, and we can recognize through the name and ID. So same as I have created last name field, and then I have created text box, then I have created email, So here the input type is, I have selected email, because as you know, the email got a structure. If you're not inputting right email ID, then form should not submit, and you should receive one message like please enter the valid email. So you don't, before that, in HTML we needs to write the code to validate your email in form. But now in HTML5 you have this facility where you can just select the input type email, and then you need to just say required. So same as mobile type is number instead of text box. Username, input type text, ID username, and password. So password input type is password, because when you are typing something here, if you don't want to show, then you need to select input type password, not text. Okay, so at the end of this table I have created the submit button. So this button is created by this line, input type submit, value submit, and whatever the size you want to give, and then that's it. So this is the whole HTML form we have created. Now before we submit our form, we need to give certain validations, like you are not able to enter submit the form without first name information, last name information, as well as you need to write your first name in alphabets only. You cannot enter the number. If you will try to enter the number, and then if you will try to submit the form, you should not be able to submit. For example, I have selected the email here, and if I am still writing whatever the name, like Chirag 12345 and here we go. So you will receive the error message that first name must contain only alphabets. So I did the validations on JavaScript as well. So let's have a look of that validations. Same as last name, it should be the alphabets only. If you will try to enter the number, it should not allow you to enter. Last name must contain only alphabets. Same as email, if you will try to enter the email in wrong format, it will give you an error. Please enter a part followed by the at Gmail is complete, not completed, or whatever. Yeah, is incomplete. For example, if I'll forget to write the and I'll just write .com, then also it will not allow you to submit your form. So this is the simple validations. Then number, it should not be less than 10 digits. It will give error. Yeah, I need to enter the email ID correct, and then it will validate the phone number. Yeah, last name should not have any numbers. So all these validations I have made in JavaScript. As you can see, well, it's not valid on mobile number, and if you'll write like 4075685, then it will allow, and it will say username cannot be blank. So it will go to the next field, it will validate, then it will not go to the next field, then it will validate. So for username, it should be characters, numbers, and underscore. So it will allow these three, or a part of these three. If you will try to enter $sign or £sign or anything, it will give you the message that username must contain only letter, number, and underscore. So this is the username validation. Same as password, as I have mentioned here, at least one number, one lowercase, one uppercase, at least 6 characters. So if you will type only 4 characters, it will not allowed. If you will not give any one capital letter, and if you will just type for example Chirag 123, it will not allow, because I need to give one capital, and then record inserted successfully. As you can see now, it should be on in this table. Yeah, as you can see, Chirag 123, my password and everything is inserted inside the database. So I have explained you about the form which I have created in HTML. Now I am explaining the validation, how I have made the validations. So I made validations in JavaScript, which you can write in HTML page outside the HTML tag. So you cannot write script inside the HTML. You should not write the script inside the JavaScript HTML. So to make validations, what I did is I make one function called check form. So whenever I'll try to submit this, it will call this function check form, and that I have, as I mentioned right here on submit return check form. Okay, now in script you need to select the language, JavaScript 1.1, 1.2, JavaScript, whatever it is, then function check form. Now in that function I have created conditions to validate the fields. For example, the first field is the first name. So I have created condition like if register means the form name, dot first name means the field name, dot value means the value which we are entering is blank, then alert this message. And what is the message? First name cannot be blank. So if I am writing here everything and it will give message first name cannot be blank, and then the cursor focus is back to the first name. So what I did here is I have made the condition that register dot first name dot value is, if it is blank, register is form name which we have mentioned here, then I'll add the message first name cannot be blank, and then register dot first name dot focus. So the cursor, as I say, after you press OK onto this message, it will back to the first name text box. So what we did, we focused that server back to the empty field. Okay, now it should not be blank and it should not be number. First name should not be number, obviously. It should be alphabets only. So what I did, I have created one variable called fn, and that variable I have used a regex pattern. So you can validate your regex pattern in different websites like regextest.com and everything. So as I have created that regex, you can see its numbers are not allowing, it's not selected. But if I'll write any name, anything, it will accept. But if I'll write number or dollar or anything, it will not accept, and that's what we want. So I have created one variable called fn, and I have created one pattern, and then I have again created one condition like if first name dot test. So test is a function in JavaScript, and fn is a variable where this pattern is stored. So test function is validating the value of text box which we have entered, and it will compare that value with this pattern. So fn means variable, whatever the value stored inside the variable, dot test with whom, so with register dot first name dot value. So this statement is comparing the value which we have enter here on first name with this pattern. So there is no number here. So if you'll insert number or anything except alphabet, it will pop up the message. For example, 1 2 3. So number is not there. So what I said, if there is no alphabets, then alert the message that first name must contain only alphabets. As you can see, error, first name must be contains only alphabets. Same as I have created validation for last name, same as above. I have mentioned the pattern, and then I have compared it, and I have just alert the message. Then I focus the cursor back to the field where there is error. Same as now there is another validation for mobile. So as you can see in mobile, you cannot enter less than 10 digits. If you will enter less than 10 digits, it will give you an error. As you can see, oh, this is about first name because there is a number. Yeah, so please enter the valid mobile number. As you can see that the number is less than 10 digits. If there is an international number, then you need to write 0044 and then number. So it will allow up to an 14 digit. If you will enter more than 14 digit, it will not accept your phone number, and if you will input less than 10 number, then also it will not accept. It will accept only between 10 to 14 number. So how I have created that condition. So I said in my condition that if register dot mobile dot value dot length. So this is the form name register, this is the mobile name, this is the text box name mobile, and whatever the value we are inputting, it will count the length, it will count the characters, how many characters are there. So that's why I put dot length is less than 10 or is greater than 14, then alert a message, please enter the valid phone number. Then username, as I say, it's same as the first name, only the pattern is different because I have allowed letters, numbers and underscore. So for example here, if I'll say 1 2 underscores, then it will allow me to submit the data. But if I will write, for example, like this, then it will not allow me to enter because it is not accepting pound. So this is all about the validation. And last but not the least is the password. So for password, you need to make the pattern very carefully. Here are the rules I have made, that at least one number should be there. As you can see, the number is here. Then any character, any alphabets you want to use, and it should be at least 6. So regex, you need to learn that what is the meaning of this sign, what is the meaning of is equal to, question mark is equal to, which is a positive look ahead, up to this number, this pattern. It could be anything. It could be D, W, means if you want to select the alphabets, then you can write W, A, B. So like that you can use this pattern. So if you don't know about the dot, star, dot, curly braces, why I have used dollar, then you need to search the regex tutorial so that you can understand what is this. Okay, so I made one pattern where I say that I want at least one digit, one low uppercase, one lowercase, and at least 6 characters. So if I'll input only 4 characters, it will not allow me to submit. Password, enter, please enter the valid password. So this is all about the validations I have created. Now, so it's already 19 minutes. Okay, now let's move on the registration page. So here what I did, I have established the connection with where I write that MySQLite underscore connect. Here you need to give the server name, username and password to connect the server. Then I have validate I have just validated whether the connection is established or not. So if $con variable where this value is stored is not connected, then it will give the message not connected to the server. Then once I have connected the servers, I have selected the DB, whatever the database I need to select. So I have selected Yoga with Chirag. So you need to write this function MySQLite underscore select underscore DB, the variable where the connection is stored, and the database name. It's Yoga with Chirag because as you can see here, the database name is Yoga with Chirag. After that, I have fetched the value, as I say before, that we need to fetch the value of Textbox by first name. So for that, we need to use $_post variable, where you need to write all the first name, last name, email, mobile, username, and password from HTML page from here, as you can see. And then I have just execute the query stored in one variable. Then I have use in that query, you can say insert into table name, which is registration, first name, last name, whatever the field you have set up here. Your first name, last name, mobile number. I have not mentioned ID because it's auto increment. And then we have stored the value of this function into this variable, so we can just mention the variable name which contains the value. Make sure you write in double quote because it's a string. Then I have just validate my query by using condition again, MySQL query function. If this query is working and if it is inserting the database, the value in database, then not, sorry, I have used not. If this query is not inserted, then you will receive the message query not inserted successfully. Otherwise, if it is inserted, it will show you record inserted successfully. After that, I want to redirect the page back to the my designing page, HTML page. So I have used header function, refresh, whatever the time you want to redirect. I have set up 2 seconds, and then URLs. That's why after submitting the record, it is redirecting form back to this page. And as you can see, record inserted successfully, and it will come back to the page. Here we go, and you can see record is inserted successfully. So that's it. If you like this video, please do subscribe, share, and give me thumbs up.